Okay, so just want to make sure it's streaming. Good. Okay, so you've got an issue with. Good. So you started modeling your doors.
Yeah. So
okay.
I've kind of modeled mostly everything in. I'm not going to show too much more because it's not a big detail.
Yeah, yeah.
I just wanted to know: is there a way to get a floor plan or a ceiling plan cut underneath just below the soffit to show?
Yes, you can. You can. All right. So what you do is get a draft section. So if level 0 is that the correct level?
Ground floor.
Ground floor.
Yeah.
Okay. So ground floor. This one here. Okay. So what I tend to do is create a section. You've got a section, maybe it's this section here, maybe. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just use that section for now. So what you need to do is to make this work, you must just understand the level at which this ceiling void starts. So all that you do is you just create a quick dimension. You can use the measure tool. The measure tool will give me enough information. So if I measure that and I snap it to the ground floor. So 297.
It might need to be a bit higher than that.
Yeah, that's fine. So I just want to get the range.
Okay.
Then we can pick any level. So if I said 3 meters, it should be fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the ground floor plan.
Okay.
I'm going to say duplicate. I'm not duplicating. I'm just saying duplicate here. So what it'll do is it'll duplicate this view. Here you can go and set all the settings up, etc. The only thing that you need to change now. So you've got 2 options. You can use, so let me explain both because sometimes both will be powerful. It depends what you want to do exactly. Okay. So the first one, if we go to view range, all that you have to do is you must just bump up. So bump this up to 3200 and then you change the cut plane to 300. Now you'll see that I'll be looking down.
That's so perfect.
So now you can actually go and show the structure above. Okay, so that's one option. Or what I could have done, so say now I want to just highlight this region over here, and everything else leave as is because maybe this region was important. Then what you do is you go to view. Here in view, you're going to go to plan views, and here you're going to go and say plan region. So now you create a region, so you can use any type of shape. But what's neat about this tool is it allows me to change the view range just for the area that I'm selecting.
Okay.
This is very important because say now you've got windows like I've got here at the top. When you cut a typical floor plan, you're never going to see that window. You're going to see the floor. So what we might have to do is create a duplicate plan indicating where these things occur in relation to these windows, because these windows and these windows are important. They need to be read together. So here we're cutting through 1.5. I'm getting the doors, but those will never, the contractor might miss those. So we'll have to make a plan. So this allows you, I'd say it's basement, that's fine. Here again, 3200, and then again 3100. So what's cool is, if I finish this now just in this zone, now I can use this and I can try and get this as tight as possible. But now you can see I'm seeing just this area at a different cut plane. This dashed line never prints, but it's just telling you just be careful. It's just making you aware that there is a cut zone happening in this area and that we've got some doors. I'll just recommend for these doors, go into the family and remove those cavity closers. We don't use cavity closers here. Usually sometimes they got a function where you can switch off the cavity closer. There, see, cavity closers. Just close it. It's only in the UK and Europe that they use cavity closers, because you usually have timber frame internal and then masonry external, and you have a special timber, it's called a cavity closer. It's a special insulated device that you buy, and you fill up the cavity, then you put the door in, then you screw the door into the cavity closer. So they build a cavity closer in. It's awesome. It's like formwork for where the door goes.
Why don't you do it?
Don't worry, I won't go there. We're supposed to do that kind of stuff. There you get special lintels that you build in with steel. They're insulated so you prevent cold bridging. But it's for climates where you get extreme cold. Okay.
Can I ask, is that structure of that roofing looking fine?
What you do is, look, Revit's going to give you enough information, but if you want to go and neaten this up, you draft over this and use filled regions to kind of get what you need to do. But it's giving you 80%.
Just because I couldn't see this as a plan view, so I was like looking at it like 3D, trying to like look at a hidden line on a ceiling.
It's just tricky. So here you can, and what I like about this tool now, so in this view, so once you're here and you start going to annotate, there's a command which allows you to hide some of the line work if you quickly want to rework some of the line work. Okay, I think it's in view, and you're going to go to, there's a tool, why am I not seeing it on yours? Let me just tab. Oh, there it is. So what you can do, you can overwrite the line work to be invisible. Invisible lines. So guess what happens if I kick that? Watch. Ta-da. So you can quickly go neaten up these little and then draft in what you need.
Can you make those dashed lines?
You can. So what you can do is watch this. No, that's fine. You can go and pick any line type that you got going in the project here. So you can go to dashed hidden or hidden. I think there's a hidden category here already, hidden. So watch this. Da-da, da-da,
Oh wow.
da-da, da-da.
So it would only change it in this view.
It'll only change in this view. It doesn't change it for the whole project. So it works like you're drafting, but it's quite a cool tool. So if you want to neaten this stuff up, so maybe you can quickly draft over this. So if I went to annotate, it works in the annotation thing as well. If you select an object, you see that this thing comes up, and then you can quickly go and change how things look. Okay, but now detail line. Now you can simply draft over here, and it'll pick those lines. So if I wanted to draft some extra detail in here, because you don't want to model all of this stuff. It's not. It's something. You can spend hours and hours modeling everything, but you can draft the intent. Okay, so here you draft over and you use this tool. So you literally select the object that you want, and then you just go to here, line work. Now it allows you to overwrite any. That's actually very powerful.
Okay, perfect.
So you can go ahead and do that. Okay, just remember you can use the override command to do that as well. But here you see it's not allowing me to select the individual element because I've got a feeling it was modeled in place.
Yes.
So here you'll have to see if I have to press tab. Here I can go right click, override graphics and view.
And
it won't. So that's why you've got to use this tool over here. Okay, it's always in the modify tab. You can make lines invisible. So like here you might have to draft around here to show how this connects to the corner. You might have to make a new detail. So you might have to hide this and this show the line. It is what it is. Okay. Perfect. Okay, but you can see now I can control it. But remember, if I delete this, you can simply just go to this plan and you can go to view range. Okay, and you can edit the view range. Very easy. So 3100. You guys know how to make seating plans now, hey? Okay, I'll quickly run through that as well, just because what I'm doing here is actually you're doing the same thing but in reverse. And if you go to show, there's a diagram that shows you how this works.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so primary range, this is your range. So 7 is your view range, so what you're actually seeing. 5 is your primary range, so from the level itself up. 2, 1, so you can see that's top, 1 is top. 2 is your cut, so this guy over here, press apply. And then the whole plan is, then you can see the whole seating structure.
Yeah.
So this is quite neat, and here you can create setting up plans.
No,
you're looking down.
Okay.
But it will read the same as the seating plan. The seating plan gives you the same view, except you're standing at the bottom and looking in the opposite direction.
The issue is like I feel like the seating plans leave out a lot of
detail.
Information.
Yeah, but now what you can do is you can have seating structure plan and then ceiling plan on the same view. So ceiling structure looks down at the structure, the ceiling plan looks up from the opposite. So you can see the ceiling patterns and the ceiling finishes. So you have these in combination, okay?
Yeah.
But do you really have to sew the ceiling structure? In your case, you might have to because you've got something quite organic.
Yeah.
But in your case, because this might be
adamant on our ceilings. And, like they really like to see what we've done with our ceilings.
okay, but this is actually
very different. Like most of mine are acoustic tiles.
Yeah, then this structure, you can grey out the structure. So what you could do in this view, right? You can do this. Right click, select all instances in view. So it'll select all of them in view, and you can override them to be grey in this view, or you can always change them to be. So this is actually a mullion system, so you might have to create a different mullion system that's always grey, and you use the material to grey out the lines. Okay, So you can go and change, override it so it grays out, because it might read, because it's a secondary structure. It's not, and it's done by a consultant. It's not really done by you guys. You kind of give him, you give him the ceiling plan and you show where you're setting out your ceiling layout. But he does the rest, okay? Okay, so that's important. Just remember on all your plans that go in the view, hide the sections that are not.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
that's
I've got
another.
a lot of draft sections at the moment.
Delete them before you issue the project. Once the project's done, save it and say final, and then delete the sections that are not required. So you don't have these random.
All these
Weird.
Oh, I
section
had
lines.
so many of them, and my last project I had them duplicated, which was such an issue.
Yeah, so just go and clean them out or hide the ones that you don't need. Okay, it's just going to make your life a lot easier. But you can see now, quite okay. If I go to ground, let's just go to
It's
ceiling
actually a better
plans.
way of doing the ceiling plans, I feel.
I feel like it's a lot
You
more.
might need both, because sometimes you got to look up and look up at your ceiling. So
these are actually looking up then.
yeah, so these are standing, but now I need to double check something here. I'm going to go view range. So
But this
here,
is on a hidden line.
I see this one. I want to make 1,500. I want to look beneath. I want to look up at the ceiling. It depends how you've made it. So
Can you take it off hidden line so I can see?
oh yeah, sorry, that's what's going on. Sorry, that's what's going on. So yeah, that's sorry. I'm gonna. So here, I'm gonna go and change this guy. So let's just make this 300.
See, because like on this ceiling plan, you don't see that detail that I've drafted in.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't. You won't see this because it's actually hidden.
Yeah.
Yes, you're seeing this. You're seeing this stuff. Let me see what the panels are. So you used the. You didn't really use. You
No.
used a glazing panel.
I followed a Revit tutorial on.
Why is that?
It just said that because it could show you the actual structure, so I thought it would give me a better impression when I actually cut through a section. But I could change it.
Because typically, yeah, the structure.
Because you can see like the actual like mullions and everything, like when you look at it in 3D. But I don't know. I've never done ceilings
Yeah.
before, so I kind of just followed the first tutorial I saw.
Because what you could do, yeah, we typically use flush plastered ceilings. So this might be an issue in the sense that, let me explain why. I'm going to put a flush plastered ceiling in here.
But I didn't want the flush plastered because it needs to have.
Oh, no, ceiling grid. I'll use
Yeah.
a proper ceiling grid system. So let me explain how ceiling systems work.
Okay.
Maybe that'll help a bit better. Okay. So here, I just want to go to, now, this is something that you've got to get your head around. The view ranges, they work slightly differently. So usually it tries to cut it quite high up and looks up. So it looks in the opposite direction. This
Yeah.
looks in the total opposite direction. Okay.
Okay.
So top is 0. Here you can make this, but here we can make this view depth. We can make unlimited. So you'll see through the whole. You'll keep seeing right through the whole structure, right up until you'll see like everything, like the beams above. You'll see so. You'll see all the underside of stairs going up and up and up. You'll see the underside of the stairs because the stairs you're actually looking at from the opposite way. So you're actually seeing the
That makes a
underside.
lot more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but now I'm going to use just this blank space, but I'll delete what I'm doing. Okay, so let's just go. That's fine. I'm going to go to architecture. I'm going to create a ceiling. Now, here I'm going to change this to a 600 by 600 grid ceiling. Now let me explain how this works. So this will have, this is actually not a structure, it's a substrate. This is the backing T sections, and that's on a default, and then the finish is here. So I'm just going to say press OK, and I'm going to create a ceiling by sketch. I'm just going to create a rectangle. Now, how high is the ceiling? When you're drawing the ceiling, it's going to ask you, so just create rectangle, see offset 2600, and let me draw this over here. Voila, finish. Now I'm going to see the proper ceiling grid system,
Okay, yeah.
and it's usually grayed out. But what's neat is, now this is what the beauty about this is. If I tab and I grab, so if I grab this line over here, I can now rotate this ceiling grid system to work with my components. So it's not doing what it's doing here. It's actually giving a true reflection of what's going on.
Yeah.
Then the material at the back, if you want to see that structure in line work, and it's going to be dashed line work. Okay, so let me explain this again. Let me grab the ceiling system. Let me just go to 3D view and show you exactly how this thing looks. So in 3D view, if I you can break this up. And all it does is it just creates a edit type. So it gives you surfaces. I can add a grid system to the substrate at the back to show, because those little T's will be running at a 600 by 600 system. So I could apply the same pattern to this and align the patterns so that they work together. Then doesn't matter if you're looking top at the bottom, you're going to see the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and usually we don't show the full structure. Okay, so we use this system so that the sub-consultants know this is the system, this is how I'm setting it out, please provide a structure above. Okay, so let me explain. So if I went back,
if I take that other one out and then just replace it
yeah,
with this.
this is much easier to work with, because what's neat is if I go and say edit boundary, watch, I can cut out sections in here.
Okay, yeah.
Now I can create bulkhead walls if I want to create bulkhead ceilings. How do we create bulkhead ceilings? Very easy. Wall architecture. You create a similar system that's flush plastered, and you can go and find there's usually a flush plastered ceiling in here. So let's call it partition 50 for now. So guess what? This will start. Now this will start. You can pick a level. So in this, say now from my floor up. So that's a bulkhead. The bulkhead starts 300 in this instance, or 100. 100. And here I'm going to say I'll leave this unconstrained for now, unconnected, and I'm going to make it 4 meters, but maybe that's 4 meters from this, make it 900. Okay, good. I'm going to say pick. Watch this.
Oh my god.
Now
And
this.
you fought for so long.
Jason. Oh my god.
Anyway, now watch this. If I go to edit type, I can change. So what does this function do? Oh, it's a soffit. It's actually like a soffit. It's actually a soffit wall. You can say core shaft, but this is actually like a soffit type arrangement. Apply. Okay. Now we're just giving it some function now. But now what's cool is.
Can you close it?
Now watch this. So now what you do is you just say apply, align. So here I'm going to say that. So this back of wall, I need to align these. It's cutting with the section plane, so I've made that too high. But if I grab the ceiling height, it's 2600. Watch this. I grab all of these, and I'm going to go and say 2600. I might have to extend them a bit more. Unconnected height. Oh no, wait. It takes in the total height, so it's 300 for now. I forgot that. Here, I can quickly, I can do 1, and you see it'll snap at the back here.
Yeah.
Now, if I get this total height of this one, I can just apply it 522. I can apply it to all of them. So tab, find all of these, and I'm going to go and say 522. Oh, maybe a little higher. So it should have been a little higher. So I want this guy to snap to the back facing of this object, maybe. Yeah. So I could just use the align command quickly. Here it's important to use the 3D view so that you know what you're working with. Yeah. Okay.
That's what I like about Revit versus AutoCAD is like it makes you think about it in 3D.
Yeah.
As well.
So say now that's my bulkhead, but now I want to put a flush plastering. So this is part of my bulkhead ceiling detail. Okay.
Yeah.
So now I know how this starts. This wall, I know it starts at 100. Watch this. I'm going to go to ceiling again. Ceiling. Now I'm going to say ceiling by sketch. I'm going to say its height is, it was 2600 on the side of that. Anyway, I'm going to say pick line tool, tab, tab, tab. Oh, sorry, pick. I'll pick this face. It should pick all of these faces. It should pick these openings for me. It's just drawing on the floor, I know that. That was too high. Let me just see. This guy started at 2100. So let's pick this ceiling, and that must start at 2100. Now, oh yeah, because I'm cutting this, that's what's going on. Let's pull this down a bit. There we go. So here's my ceiling. Now the ceiling, I'll explain now. I'm going to grab the ceiling. I'm going to make this a flush plastered ceiling. Flush plastered. Now this ceiling, I'm just going to go and say edit boundaries. You could say extend to walls, but I'm going to say align. I want the outside of these walls. And you create a section, you create a 3D section 3 building, and you can build these things quite rapidly. And you can, if you start understanding where the levels are, you can do everything in ceiling plan view and that other plan view that you made. Now, if I do this and I join these things, what happens if I go to join now? So here, if I go to modify and I go to join, that with tab, so tab that. Now these things actually join together. Now if the materials match, they'll join seamlessly. Sorry, join. You can use the multiple, join, join. Oh yeah, yours is different to mine. So you're going to go that ceiling, so just tab, yeah, that guy with that guy, and that guy. Voila. So now it will read as one seamless object. And if I go to shaded or realistic view, now provided the materials that you've assigned for the wall work the same. So let me explain. So let's go to the flush parted ceiling, edit. So here the structure works. It's finish 1.4 and finish 1.5. So that's metal stud, that's gypsum wall. Okay, so now watch this. If I grab this wall, type here, and I go and say edit type, duplicate, I'm going to say ceiling, just call it plaster bulk head. Okay, here you create the same structure, so I'm going to go insert. So this guy, so that's going to be my core boundary. I'm going to move, now just remember exterior side or interior side. This doesn't really matter, provided you switch the walls in the right direction. Okay, I'm going to move this up. It doesn't matter which side it is. I'm going to move this one to the interior side down. So this is 1.4 and this is metal stud. This is my metal stud layer. And it was, what was this, 35 I think it was. Because those T's are usually about 35 mil. Okay. So it was metal stud. There we go, metal stud. I can go back and change it now, 35 mil. Okay, so that's 35 mil. This is 15 mil, and that's gypsum. Okay, let me just press cancel, and I'm going to make this finish 1.5. Press OK. Press OK. Okay, now, so I've just, my stud lays in the wrong direction, so tab all of this, and I'm going to press spacebar, then it switches the direction. So your interior and exterior layer, so that's your interior and that's your exterior. Now, let me just go and double check what this was. So edit type, let me just make sure I get the wall bolt. So this was, so that's 50, yeah. Control A, Control C. Okay. Now I grab this guy, edit. Oh yeah, so this guy must change to, I must just change all of these walls, so let's grab all of those, change all of them to bulk. Okay, good. Edit. So you must just match material for material, and then they'll join seamlessly. Okay, that's 50, that's 15. Oh, I can leave wrap one, it doesn't really matter in this instance. Apply, press OK, done. Okay, now let's just check your stud layers on the inside. Okay, now what I might have to do is just match these walls. So let's just say, you see this opening here?
Yeah.
So in this, maybe bring this and pull this back in this direction. So this align this to this opening, because then these things will line. This is the only little challenging bit. You just got to get these things in the right direction. So in that direction, just go align. Yeah, if you've got this move tool, just be careful. It's quite dangerous sometimes, because you can move stuff and not knowing. So select the edge of this guy here and align that. That's probably what I would do. Select that face. Yeah, you just got to be a bit, yeah, good. Now, These guys you can join here, so they join that. Now this guy you can see we can use the join command. So let me just, now, and it's joining quite neatly. Now if I cut a section through this, because these things have the same material, and I switch on detail, fine, look what happens. I might have taken these past, so this I might just have to move up to the underside of that so that these things join correctly. But it tries to, you see what it does, it tries to show you how this joins. But if I move this guy up, so if I go align, no, it's always going to do that, because you can't wrap this guy. There was a way to, so let me show you this. Join that with that. Okay, these things will start joining. I think you got to take this past. Just move this guy up one. Align. Yeah, so I'm going to move this guy to that line there. Tab. Align. Yeah. Sorry, it's hard to see what I'm doing here at the moment. Hidden. These things should join seamlessly. But maybe I've got the structure incorrect. Let me just check edit type, because the structure should join with structure edit. So the gypsum wall board is 2.5 and the stud layer was that. But I'll show you in section, you can edit the way these things join. Okay, so if you're cutting a section through it, edit, let me just check here, switch wrapping off. Yeah, that is correct. Okay, I just think I've just got to move this thing up so that it moves. So this guy needs to align. That with the ceiling. I might have to go to section view and do this. So let's just move this guy up. Move. I probably won't. No. So let me just drop this a bit to 2 meters. Okay, it's not joining anymore. So I'm going to go align that with that face. Okay, no, it still does it. That's strange. It's supposed to. Wait a minute. You pull it to the interior. So sorry, in a boundary. So here you're going to pull this. I think you put it to this face over here. So I'm going to go align. Anyway, but it will join. Okay, so it does join. But in section view, what you need to do is you join those connections. But you'll see that it'll, from a 3D perspective, there was a way to get those things looking quite seamless. It's got to do with how this thing works, the way this ends. So you might have to just pull this back in line with this wall. Okay, let me just try that one last little bit of boundary. Go to top view here. Top view. I think this was correct. Align with that. Align with that. Let's just check that now. Finish. Ah, shit, then it does it there. But you can wrap. Oh well. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
Okay. So the other option was better, so at least the material read better. Okay, so at least from this perspective, you see how it joins, the material works. So in section view, you must just quickly neaten up the way it looks. But in theory,
That's
hunky-dory.
good enough.
It's good enough. Okay. Cool.
Cool. Thank you. And then just on my
Must I delete that seating in that other room quickly?
yeah, possibly. Then I'll go look at the recording and redo it.
Poor
My
Alex.
poor
Delete that.
ceilings.
He spent so much time on that.
No, but leave if it works, leave it.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
like it because obviously like my bulkheads currently are just model in places, so
Yeah.
that structure that you had.
Yeah,
is
so
not
you
better
draw
in
those
section.
walls down, then you build the bulkhead. So it's just another ceiling that you're filling those gaps with, and you drop it, and then you join them. Yeah, so that's how we used to do bulkheads. That's how bulkheads work. Okay. Just say continue for me. Cool. All right. Cool.
Then just on my I've got these boost seats, and I was also like watching tutorials, just making those cushions, because obviously it's rounded.
Oh, I modeled in place and stuff.
Yeah, I also did.
Oh, but
because it's rounded,
yeah.
you have to use a sweep. So I managed to do it on the bottom cushions, but I could not get it on the top ones.
On the top ones.
Yes.
Okay, so what you'll do, let me just go and say edit in place. Okay, all you need to do, so you try to do it with this.
Yeah, just to curve those edges. To
Okay,
make
so
the
watch this,
cushion.
grab this, grab that. Do you have to do them in sections like you've done here?
That's just the way the tutorial showed me. I'm not sure. It can be a full thing. It doesn't really matter.
Okay, so what you do now is, you can do this in section and I'll explain how this works. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to create. You might just have to create a divide. It doesn't really matter. You might just have to mark on a plan the divisions, but I'll show you very quickly. So I'm going to go to sweep. I'm going to say pick path. So what it allowed me to do, it allowed me to pick this path. Okay, but at any point I can pull this back. I could go to top view and I can try and snap it to work. Wireframe. So here I could actually tell it actually will work pretty well. Okay, good. Now that I've got that in place, I'm going to go back to now. It's actually very. So what you do now is you're going to go and say finish. You're going to pick profile, create profile. Now you just draft what you want to see. So let's just go. I'll just show you this very quickly.
Okay.
Now you can put in your little.
Finding that tool changed my life.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Ah.
And you just make this. Oh yeah, the bottom of the extrusion. So edit extrusion.
Sorry.
No, guys, it's
I've
it's
learned
it
to
is
figure
easy.
stuff.
Look, some of the stuff. Yeah, this is not. Yeah, it is. Does take a bit of getting your head around.
Yes, like where we were
Should snap
last
to that
year.
surface. No, you guys are doing well. No, don't.
Yeah, we've definitely come a long way.
No, you guys have.
At least
Look.
if I get employed, I'll be able to like actually contribute something.
I was thinking about it the other day. Nominal hours that I had to teach you guys. It's 2 weeks. It's 2 hours a week.
Mm.
And when you get 14 hours, think about it. I've given you you've got a full week to learn Revit in my class
Yeah.
per quarter.
That's ridiculous.
In total 4 weeks. Would you be able to use Revit after 4 weeks using it?
No, you have to keep working on it. Like for us, like we worked on it for a year now.
Exactly. But you're using it for everything else now, so at least so that's all that you do.
Revit's become like my program. Like
It's excellent. So if you want to, so now you can create now. If you want to round those edges now, watch this. You go to create sweep, sweep again. Now you pick profile. Guess what? It allows me to pick this profile. Now I can put a rounding edge in. What did it say there? Oh no, sorry.
Can't you just adjust it on the sweep, on that profile?
No. If you want to put a curve
That's
to
the
make it round.
Oh.
So here you need to go to profile. So I'm just going to draw a line in this direction. I'll make a rectangle. This is the best way to do this. So I'm using shift to lock it on that axis. Don't worry, I'm just trying to get this to a square. So I'm going to pick this guy. Just make sure that they're 30 by 30. Then I create an arc. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Finish. It's because this radius is too small. Okay, I'll explain
The
now.
amount of times I've seen
No,
that
it's just because the radius is too small. So edit sweep, I'll explain now. So you might just have to get a much smaller rounder, like this 20. It's just got to do with how it goes around this. Okay, so let me just see, it might work now. It's trying to make it. See, it's trying to make it down there. I've got to do it in the opposite direction. Sorry.
Honestly, it's fine.
Let me just try this one last time. So in essence, I've got to make. So let's just grab. Let's grab this. Edit path. Sorry, I think it's me that's been an idiot. So let me just grab it in this direction because I've got a feeling if I go in that direction. Oh, you bugger. that I can change now to 15. But now I'm going to move this guy. So in this move, tab that. Okay, let's just get rid of that. So this guy, I'll explain now. So this guy I'm going to go to there. This guy I'm going to go to there. Now this is going to be way better credit line. So I just want to see if this will work now. Oh, it's that curve, it's too... Let me just check something here. This, it should work around this curve. I've got a feeling that I've got to... You can do it in bits, so let me just grab that one, and that one. Why did it do that error? Slightly, okay, that's fine. Finish. Now, edit profile.
130.
Let's just pull this back quite a bit.
Should be on the announcements.
I'm just going to get this so that it works. So I'll have to make it quite small. Let me just see if that'll work. I've got to do it that. Yeah, there we go. Now this guy. Edit profile. Now all that you got to do is create, so edit profile. This will work, you'll get it nice and smooth. These guys are going to go, and you're going to go to here, and you're going to go and get that round to 5 mil maybe. That's making like a champ. So just do that, you use the same one on that side as well, and you'll get these nice and round if you want them round. Okay. All you do is you select the sweep now and you change it to a void. And then you just say cut. Come on. I want to use the sweep over here. Just use the join command. Join. It's supposed to cut. What's it supposed to, man? It's supposed to do what I'm telling it to do. Very strange.
These sweeps confuse the hell out of me.
Well, it's supposed to do what it's actually supposed to do. It's supposed to do exactly what I'm trying to tell it to do here, but that's very strange. So I'm just going to say edit sweep. I might have to pull this, so edit. Come on. I'm going to extend this past. Extend this path here. Come on. Behave. I might have to pick another path, so I'm going to pick one more here and then pull this back to there. Finish. And then I'm going to use the cut tool, so I'm going to say cut. It's supposed to be doing what I want it to do. That is so strange, it's supposed to. Alright, it is what it is. But you can, like I'm doing that, should cut that object away.
Yeah.
That is so strange.
I suppose you're not gonna see in the render. Really,
yeah,
so.
It's literally just for one render,
Yeah.
so I just wanted the cushions there, but...
It will cut those edges away. It should. Okay, it should. I just let me just try something here quickly. I'm just going to. So I was going to try and show you exactly how this should work. So let's go path. Let me just get rid of that. You might have to do this in little sections maybe. So let's just go finished. Finished. Okay, there I've got this little cut. But why the profile change? That happens sometimes. Oh, you just got to rotate it, so that's fine. This does happen sometimes. Edit. Profile, why won't it allow me to edit profile? Edit profile, edit profile. This guy just needs to rotate it, so rotate it. Specify, it's at the bottom here. Place, center. theory. Cut. No. I've never experienced that error. That is so strange. That is the strangest thing. That thing should cut like butter.
Yeah, trust me, I've been playing around with these sweeps for far too long and just...
That should cut. Uncut geometry. Cut. Just say expand.
Oh, the element's joined.
And it wouldn't allow me to, so edit sweep, let me just check something. That's why I was doing this, edit profile. Perfectly, let me just get rid of this curve here. I'm just going to make it a mitre for now. I'm just trying to see why this thing is behaving the way it is. What I might have to do is offset it from the surface somewhat. I think I might have to do that. So let me just do that for now. Okay, and let's say finish. Oh, darn it. Okay, and let's just say cut. Now why? Okay, I think you see what it's doing. And it's supposed to do that for the whole sweep. So let me just.
Oh my gosh.
But I'll show you this. Okay, it's working. It's just that there's a pick. So pick. So pick path. I'm going to say there, there, and there. This one, I'm going to pull this back a fraction to there. Finish. Finish. Watch this. What? That is the strangest thing.
Is that cutting the opposite direction, basically?
Yeah, it doesn't like this.
That curve, yeah. Is it too small of a curve?
I just want to check something here. Let me just do this rather. I'm going to do a different technique. So let me just go and say profile, edit profile. It's got something to do with these. I'm going to say pick. Let's see if it'll allow me to pick this face over here. So watch this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. So what it's done is it's actually given me. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a because it's made this. So let me just trim these two guys together, trim that and that. Okay, now I'm going to see if this will work. It's not happy. So let's just go from there. I want to snap on this face. Oh, it's making this a spline. That is so interesting. Let's see if it's making an arc or spline. No, it's making an arc. It should. So let's just go to top view. I'm going to go to wireframe. Sorry about this.
No worries.
Jason, will you be available here throughout the day? Or
I'm going to be all day, yeah. I'm going to try just by appointment, just come and see me when you guys need help, okay? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go and say...
Are you available at all next week?
I'm examining all next week.
Okay.
Yeah, so sadly no. Okay, I see, this is why it doesn't want to do it. It's just because of the way the geometry. So let's pull this, let's grab this arc here, and pull this dot back to here. Just split it. Okay, let me do it. Okay, I've got a plan of action. What we're going to do is we're going to create a rectangle. So this is going to be pretty rough, but it'll make the shape. Okay, it'll make what we're trying to do. So here I'm going to make a rectangle. So this is trial and error. I'm going to make a shape here. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to try and get this thing square. So make this 50. 50. Good. I'm going to grab this information. I'm going to move this. Okay, I can see. I'm going to move it more or less in the center. Doesn't really matter. So I'm just trying to create the shape for the time being. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a split line tool. split. Somewhere about there, that's fine. This is just going to be trial and error. This will have to be quite rough. Okay, so I'm going to go there. That's good enough for now. Then, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that, grab that, grab that. Now, I wonder if I'll make it larger. Actually, I'm going to do that. Plan B. This is going to be, because this won't influence that at all. So here, I know it needs to go in the opposite direction. Sorry, my bad. I'm going to keep your head about you.
This is ridiculously complicated.
Just for like upholstery.
Yeah.
No, you'll see now. You'll see now. This will make more sense now. It was because the way the curve was cutting. So here I'm just guessing kind of where this will need to go. Now this mustn't be too big. Oh, and that's fine because they can go to that point there. And then tab. Now I can grab this point. How's that? How are you?
Good, yeah.
Good.
Could I squeeze them up today?
Yes, you can.
Okay. I'll be quick, mine's like 10 minutes.
We might be here while these boost teachings are not playing games.
How long do you think you'll be?
Not too much longer, but Chevy's just like.
Shucks. Extrusion. No man, this thing's supposed to work now. I've got a feeling it's that radius. That's where the problem is. So let's grab this guy. Tab. So why does yours keep defaulting to that edit profile? I've just got to get this thing the right size. This is the trick now.
Jason, really don't worry too much about this. It's really not a big detail. I feel like it's become a thing for you now.
Now I want this thing to finish. Unjoin element. I can't even make the sweep. That's interesting. Cancel. Why not, man? Anyway, it's supposed to, yeah, it's supposed to work, but yeah, you might have to make it very small. You'll just have to plan until it works. Okay, but anyway, you've got that first sweep going.
Yeah, that's.
Sorry, this stuff annoys me because this stuff should work quite easily.
That's so strange.
Cancel.
And then just the last thing I wanted to ask, with regards to connecting our Revit model to Twinmotion,
Yeah.
what do we need to download?
Okay, I'll show you that now.
Because I'm planning on just using the Twinmotion on the computers in the lab.
Okay. Alright, so all that you need to do, you need to go and get a plugin.
Yeah.
Finish model in place. Let's see if you've got it already. So you need to go and get a add-in, a plugin. Okay, if you don't have it, go to Chrome for me very quickly. I'll just show you where it is.
Okay, I'm also look at this. Is Twinmotion better to render on than Revit?
Yes, it is, because you can add more stuff and there's more stuff in the labs where you can put. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Type in Unreal Engine Twinmotion.
It's the first one that pops up.
And then go to plugins. And then go to Unreal Engine, go into there for me. Yeah, I need to bring that Twinmotion down. It's the wrong one, sorry, it's Twinmotion plugin. My bad. So go to Twinmotion.
Must I type plugin?
Yeah, so Twinmotion plugin for Revit. There we go. You'll find it quite easily. There we go.
Which one is it?
No, it's this one here, sorry, Twinmotion plugins, sorry. Yeah, Twinmotion plugins. So twinmotion.com. Scroll down, and then you go and get for Revit. Keep going down.
There you go.
Yeah, for Revit, download options, and just say download now. It's very small. And then you
Smaller than my
you run it.
presentation.
Yeah. Okay, open. And then just run that. You might have to close Revit and relaunch Revit. Okay, and then
Okay, I need to save.
you have to say next.
Oh, mine's not doing that.
Yeah.
Save.
and go next. Install. It will find what version you've got on.
Must I save Revit quickly?
Yeah, and save Revit quickly, and then you can just simply close Revit in the meantime and reopen it.
How do I open this because it's not opening? Do I just
Yeah, just right click or double click. There we go, it's running.
Yes.
Yes. Let's see that my slides and then do the same. And what you can do is you can just open up Revit quickly once this is done.
And then do you simply like,
You export it as, get the view that you want. You can export cut views already in section view. So if you've got a cut view of a room, it will
Yeah.
export it as a cut view and you can.
okay.
So maybe just export your
so
camera
I just
3D
click
views.
install, right? It says Revit 2022, 2021.
Yeah.
Do I have them both selected?
Yeah, because you've got both installed on your machine maybe.
So should I just download the Revit 2022 if that's the one?
No, get both, because then it covers you in
Finish?
case. Yeah, just say finish. Now open up Revit again. I'm surprised this machine of yours is still handling, eh?
It's doing pretty well.
It's,
Quite good.
I'm impressed, yeah.
Or
Because
is
usually I get
slow.
nervous when people have old machines, there's not enough RAM and
We
They're
did
doing this type
upgrade
of
the
stuff.
RAM, I think, but the graphics card is terrible.
yeah, so that's why I come and render. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I say always load?
Yes, always load. It's just so that you can use the plugin, okay.
When you render, even on Revit, on the machines in the lab, do you get better quality? Okay.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
And quicker time.
Oh, that's
They've got
awesome.
special graphics cards in for doing this, okay.
And would you suggest putting like Revit on a flash drive and then plugging it into the computers, or can I just open it on my Google Drive?
Google Drive, download it, work on the machine. Just remember, keep saving and check the load change schedule.
Yeah, that's. I remember end of last year I lost about 3 hours of.
Yeah, I had to. We got a quote to get that place sorted out. It's an excess of R1 million on you, just so that everything just say always load.
Yeah,
You just have to
that's-
keep switching. Just always say always load. Okay?
Honestly, you'd rather just invest in a little alarm clock that says like 5 minutes before load shedding.
Yeah,
so you'll-
they couldn't do it across the whole campus. They,
Yeah.
yeah,
A
so,
little alarm clock would be so cute.
yeah.
Do I say down? Oh, okay. What happened now?
I don't know where it went.
It like disappeared.
What's that?
It disappeared on his laptop.
What?
The downloading screen. Like it went back to this.
No, that's fine. You can just open up Revit now. Just say always
Oh, my
access.
Revit's already open. Should I close it?
Yeah, close it and relaunch it. Just say always access. It's just then open your project. So play with your settings. Leave it in maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Just change your curtain panels so that they're solid and look like a.
I actually need help with those curtain panels now because.
What do you mean?
Your curtain panel, because
Yeah.
if it's glass, it's not
Mhm.
going to look like a ceiling. You have to change the
Oh.
panel, the system itself,
Okay.
to a solid. Okay. Just say ignore and open. It's just links missing, and go to a 3D view that you want to export.
That's really...
So pick a 3D view that's inside, booth view. For this is a good example. Maybe use a camera view so you're not cutting through. So like a
These
3D.
are camera views.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay, inside of the.
Yeah.
Okay. You got format on your machine, hey?
I do, but I've never opened it.
Okay, because format, it will open the FBX file for you and show you what the FBX looks like,
Okay.
what Twinmotion's going to read.
Okay.
Okay, so all it does is it just exports it as a FBX file.
So now that I have this, if I then take it to, you have to send. Do you send the file then to something on?
Yeah, I'll explain now. But the plugins are already in, so you can open up Revit there, and the plugins are already on those machines in
Okay.
there. But I'm just going to show you what to do, because you can export this as a Datasmith file. Now the latest version. So with that view open, go to Datasmith. So you're going to go to export. Export Datasmith file. So you have to export Datasmith file, and you export that 3D booth, and then there you open it up. I must just make sure that
Okay,
mine
so-
works.
Would you just save it and then...
Yeah, press cancel for me quickly. I just want to see. Go to settings.
Settings?
Settings over here.
Okay.
Shucks, now this is. I used to be able to export it as a. I just want to make sure that. Press cancel. I just want to make sure that that version opens up Datasmith Smiles.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to stop streaming now because I think that's all you need to
Yeah.
know for now. So I'm just going to press exit. I'm just going to
As I
say,
say, stop sharing.
yeah, I'll stop sharing. Stop